me tell you the story about the King of Clay, a true hero of the sport, a genius on the court. He plays left-handed, but that is by choice, one that made him a formidable opponent on the tennis court. He has won 22 Grand Slam singles titles and is undoubtedly one of the most beloved tennis players ever to touch the game. Who are we talking about? Rafael Nadal, the vigorous left-handed King of Clay. Who is Rafael Nadal? Rafael Nadal Pereira, known simply as Rafael Nadal in the tennis world, is a Spanish tennis player. He was born on the 3rd of June 1986 to Ana Maria Pereira Femenias and Sebastian Nadal Homar. Nadal began playing tennis when he was a little boy with one of his uncles, Tony Nadal, guiding him. Tony recognized talent in Rafael and introduced him to the game when Rafa was only 3 years old. Tony Nadal remained Rafael's coach even when he went pro between 2005 and 2017. Nadal competed in an under-12 regional tennis championship when he was 8 and won. This win boosted his confidence, and he started training harder, with his uncle coaching him every step of the way. This was when he also started playing left-handed, being encouraged by his uncle to a natural advantage on the court. This was because Tony had studied Rafael's then two-handed forehand stroke and foresaw a talented left-handed tennis player. At age 12, Rafa won the Spanish and European tennis titles in his age group. By that time, he was also a promising football player. However, out of concern that his schoolwork would suffer, he had to choose between football and tennis. Well, his father made him choose. Nadal chose tennis, and his second sports interest, football, was benched forever. Out of fear of his education suffering, his family turned down the Spanish Tennis Federation's request for Nadal to leave Mallorca for Barcelona. When Nadal was 14, the federation requested that Nadal should move to Barcelona for more intensive training. However, his family refused. Plus, his uncle believed he didn't have to go to America or someplace else to become exceptional. You can become a great athlete from home, Tony Nadal had told Rafael. Naturally, this meant less financial support from the federation, but Nadal's father bore the responsibility. In 2001, when Rafa was only 15, he defeated Pat Cash, the former Grand Slam champion, in an exhibition match on clay. The start of a professional tennis career. Nadal's professional tennis career began in 2001 at age 15, starting with 2 ITF Junior Circuit events. 2001 ended with him holding a Challenger Series record of 1-1 in singles, but no finals appearances or titles at ITF Futures, and bagged a record of 7-5 in singles and 1-2 in doubles. He also did not have any finals appearances or titles and did not compete in any doubles challengers events. Nadal played his first ITF Junior singles event in 2002 at Wimbledon, where he reached the semifinals. In the same year, Spain won against the US in the Junior Davis Cup finals, with Nadal winning his match against Brendan Evans. By the end of 2002, he had a record of 4-2 challenger singles with no titles and a futures record of 40-9 in singles and 10-9 in doubles, winning 6 singles tournaments, 5 on clay and 1 on hard court. Winning the first ATP match. In April 2002, when Nadal was still 15 years of age, he played against Raymond Delgado and won. Thus, he became the 9th player in the Open era to win an ATP match before age 16. Wins, titles, and ranks. The first ATP title. Nadal began winning titles in 2003, starting with 2 challenger titles, which ranked him at number 49 and bagged him the ATP Newcomer of the Year award. When he debuted at Wimbledon in 2003, he reached the 3rd round, although this was his first time. As such, he became the youngest man to reach the 3rd round of Wimbledon since Boris Becker in 1984. In 2004, Nadal played his first game against Roger Federer, who was the reigning number 1 in the 3rd round of the Miami Open. He won in straight sets. This match marked the birthplace of the legendary rivalry between Federer and Nadal. Rafael later lost to Fernando Gonzalez in the round of 16. In August 2004, Rafael Nadal finally won his first ATP singles title, defeating Jose Acasuso at the Idea Procom Open held in Sopot. The first major title, 2005. In 2005 at the Australian Open, Nadal played until the 4th round, where he lost to Leighton Hewitt, the eventual runner-up. A couple of months later, he reached the 2005 Miami Masters final, but lost to Roger Federer in 5 sets, Although Nadal didn't win in either of these matches, they were still considered a breakthrough. He continued in dominant form and broke Andre Agassi's Open-era record of male teenage tennis players' consecutive match wins, winning 24 consecutive singles matches. Nadal's world ranking jumped to number 5 when he won the Barcelona Open in 2005 against Juan Carlos Ferrero, and the 2005 Monte Carlo Masters, as well as the 2005 Italian Open against Guillermo Coria. Apart from ranking number 5, he became one of the favorites at his career first French Open, the exact tournament he would dominate for years to come. For the first time in his career and on his 19th birthday, Nadal beat the number 1 Federer in the French Open semifinals. Only 3 other people were able to beat Federer that year: Marat Safin, David Nalbandian, and Richard Gasquet. 2 days later, he became the second man to win the French Open on his first attempt after Mats Wilander in 1982. This win moved him from being number 5 to number 3. In July 2005, Nadal's ranking became number 2 after winning 16 consecutive matches and 3 tournaments. In September, he defeated Coria in the China Open final in Beijing. In October, he defeated Ivan Lubitschek in the 2005 Madrid Masters final, winning his 4th Masters title of the year. Unfortunately, he could not compete in the year-ending Tennis Masters Cup due to a foot injury. Mats Wilander had previously held a teenage record of 9 singles titles in 1983. However, Nadal won 11 singles and 4 Masters titles in 2005, breaking the record. He won 79 matches, earning a Spaniard's highest year-end ranking ever. The ATP gave him the Most Improved Player of the Year award in the same year, becoming world number 1 for the first time. Nadal's 2008 tennis season began in India, where he played in the Chennai Open, but was beaten by Mikhail Yuzhny in the final. He then reached the semifinals of the Australian Open, but lost to Jo-Wilfried Tsonga in straight sets, and also reached his second Miami Masters final, finishing as runner-up. During the spring clay court season, Nadal won 4 singles titles, winning against Roger Federer in 3 of those. He beat Federer at the Monte Carlo Masters, the Masters Hamburg, as well as at the 2008 French Open, where he beat him for the 3rd straight year, only losing 4 games. Nadal became the 5th man in the Open era to win a Grand Slam singles title without losing a set. His win at the French Open tied him with Bjorn Borg's all-time record and also made him the 4th male player in the Open era to win the same Grand Slam singles tournament in 4 consecutive years. The 2008 Wimbledon final was set to see Roger Federer take on Rafael Nadal for the 3rd consecutive year. It was one of the most anticipated matches of their rivalry. Nadal entered the final on a 23-match winning streak, whilst Federer reached the final without dropping a single set. The match went down as the longest final in terms of time on court in Wimbledon history at the time due to rain delays, and eventually Nadal won the 5th set with 9-7 in near darkness. Many tennis enthusiasts lauded the Wimbledon final as the greatest ever, critics even calling it the greatest match in tennis history. His first Wimbledon title made Nadal the 3rd man in the Open era to win the French Open and Wimbledon in the same year. With his gold medal win at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, Nadal finally clinched the world number 1 ranking on August 18th, ending Federer's reign after 4.5 years at the top. He finished the year as year-end number 1. Rafael Nadal's career in statistics. Nadal holds 22 Grand Slam singles titles, of which he won 14 titles at Roland Garros, making him the indisputable king of clay. He won his first Wimbledon in 2008 after reaching 2 finals in 2006 and 2007, defeating Federer in a 5-set final. He has won the Australian Open twice in 2009 and 2022, making it to finals in 2009, 2012, 2014, 2017, 2019, and 2022. He won the 2010 US Open and added 3 more US Open titles in 2013, 2017, and 2019, thus completing the career Grand Slam. Nadal holds an unprecedented Roland Garros record, winning 97.4% of his matches since his debut in 2005, a stunning record of 112 wins versus 3 losses. He has contested in 18 Roland Garros events, winning 14, never losing a final, and losing to only 2 men, once to Robin Soderling and twice to Novak Djokovic. With this, he holds the record of singles titles won by a player at the same major previously held by Margaret Court. The career Golden Slam is the one category Nadal has over Federer and Djokovic. Only Nadal can claim the title since he won the career Grand Slam and Olympic gold in singles. Overall, Nadal holds 92 ATP singles titles, including 36 ATP Tour Masters 1000 and 22 Grand Slam singles titles. Only 2 men have ever achieved the career Golden Slam in men's singles, and he is one of them. Also, he became the youngest player in the Open era to achieve the career Grand Slam. He is also one of the only 4 men in tennis history to complete the double career Grand Slam in singles, along with Roy Emerson, Rod Laver, and Novak Djokovic. Furthermore, Nadal is the first male tennis player to complete the career Grand Slam and win both singles and doubles Olympic gold medals. He is the only male or female Spaniard to rank number 1 for over 200 weeks, win all 4 majors twice, and win over 20. Nadal has led his country to 5 Davis Cup titles: 2004, 2008, 2009, 2011, and 2019. Rivalries. Out of Nadal's 7 major rivals, his rivalries with Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Andy Murray are the most significant. Nadal and Federer. Nadal and Federer have been competing against each other since 2004. This has been a significant part of their careers. They have played 40 games against each other, with Nadal leading 10-4 in Grand Slams and 24-16 overall. Out of the 40 matches, 24 have been played in tournament finals, including 9 Grand Slam finals. Nadal won 6 out of 8 Grand Slams, becoming the only player who has won against Federer in Grand Slam finals on all 3 surfaces: grass, hard, and clay. Nadal and Djokovic. Nadal and Djokovic have played 59 matches against each other, with Nadal leading 11-7 in Grand Slam events. However, overall, he trails behind Djokovic with 29-30. They've played 18 Grand Slam events and 9 Grand Slam finals, with Nadal leading on clay with 20-8, Djokovic on hard courts 20-7, and tied on grass 2-2. In 2009, ATPWorldTour.com listed their rivalry as the 3rd greatest of the previous 10 years. Nadal and Murray. Nadal and Murray have played 24 games together, with Nadal leading 17-7, including games on clay, grass, and hard courts. They've had 9 Grand Slam competitions, 7 being in quarterfinals and semifinals. Nadal leads by 7-2, Murray leads in the ATP finals by 3-1, but the duo has never met in a Grand Slam final. Rafael Nadal's career earnings and net worth. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Nadal is currently worth about $220 million, including earnings on and off court. On court, he has raked in over $125 million in prize money in his career. Endorsements. Nadal has been the global ambassador of Kia, South Korea's 2nd largest automobile manufacturer, since 2006. He is sponsored by Nike since he was 13, and has also been Kelly's, a Spanish biscuit and bakery manufacturer, ambassador since 2010. As part of another huge endorsement deal, the Spaniard tennis player wears luxury watches from Richard Mille, the watch he wore at the latest Australian Open, which cost a whopping $100,000. He has many endorsement partners, including Emporio Armani, Santander, Mafre, Tommy Hilfiger, HelioCare, Babola, Telefonica, and Banco Sabadell. He also has a luxurious home, a yacht, and an irresistible car collection in his home in Mallorca, Spain. In addition, he owns expensive villas in Puerto Cristo, Spain, and the Dominican Republic, where he loves spending his holidays. Plus, he runs the Rafael Nadal Academy in Spain, Kuwait, and Mexico, his logo being one of the most renowned worldwide. Foundation and charity. Nadal owns the Rafa Nadal Foundation, set up in 2008 to provide aid to socially disadvantaged youngsters at risk of societal exclusion. The foundation undertakes several projects, including the Rafa Nadal Foundation Center in Spain. Also, Nadal has launched various scholarships with which he also provides help to socially disadvantaged youths. Family and private life. Nadal is well known as a family-centric man to whom family is extremely important. A reason for this is the fact that he grew up in a small village in Mallorca with his relatives always around. Another reason is that the Spaniard tennis player dislikes being alone. He lived with his parents and younger sister in their hometown, Manacor, Mallorca, before his parents separated in 2009. However, when it comes to his private life, the Spaniard likes to keep it private. Nadal has been in a relationship with Maria Francisca Perello since 2005, according to The Telegraph. They got engaged in January 2019 and married about 7 months later in October 2019. They welcomed their first child and son, Rafael, on the 8th of October 2022. Health. Although he plays left-handed, Nadal uses his right hand in every other thing, like golfing and writing. In 2022, the Spaniard announced that he had Müller-Weiss syndrome, a rare chronic disorder of the ankle. He was diagnosed with this when he was 19, but he held off on surgery until 2021. However, he still had to get numbing injections and anti-inflammatories before his matches at the 2022 French Open. He later expressed his unwillingness to do that again. In a statement regarding his injury, he said, "I am not injured, I am a player living with an injury." Rafael Nadal scandals. The doping accusation. Nadal was accused by French cyclists Thibaut Pinot and Guillaume Martin and some French media of doping. The Spanish tennis player suffers from a chronic foot issue that requires pain-killing injections. As such, he had to take several shots throughout his tournament in Paris so that he could compete. However, this set of people opined that Nadal's treatment at the tournament constituted doping. WADA's defense. The Director General of WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency, Oliver Nigli, came to Nadal's defense over the doping accusation. He stated that the injections the Spaniard player received in his foot are permitted by the International Olympic Committee (IOC) watchdog. He also stated that injections are not on the agency's list of prohibited substances, as they are not harmful and do not improve performance. According to Nigli, Nadal has won 14 Roland Garros titles. If 13 were won without injections, the 14th win was likely not thanks to them. Shakira and Nadal alleged affair. The Spanish paparazzi, Jordi Martin, reported in 2022 that Shakira and Rafael Nadal had a secret affair. According to him on the American Noticias TV show, this affair was before Shakira met Gerard Piqué. He did not immediately reveal the person Shakira was involved with. He stated that he was world-renowned, a top sportsman, not a footballer, but a tennis player. Without revealing the player's name, he mentioned that he was the star of the video Gitana, Shakira's 2010 hit. This was also the year the alleged relationship likely took place. However, after much pressure from the show host, Martin eventually gave the name in a leading question. The show host asked if the person in question had won the most Grand Slam titles in history, and he replied yes. Rafael Nadal is fondly referred to as Rafa in the tennis world and holds the title King of Clay. Alongside Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic, Nadal is undoubtedly one of the best tennis players ever. Thank you for watching all the great moments on and off the court. We hopefully have some more matches left to watch. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you.